Well guys, we are back out here looking at our beautiful yellow dozer, and we've got to approach the big white elephant in the room. Or actually in the field. The big yellow elephant in the field, actually. You know what it is? This dozer is famous. 1 million people wanted to watch about this dozer. 1.5 million people watched the last video on this dozer, and it is completely wild to me. But it's also great in the fact that we can take and share this old machinery and these old, you know, tractors and dozers and whatever it is with people that might not ever have the chance to be around them or know anything about them. I've always loved these things. I've never really had a chance to have one before that now, so I'm so excited. I'm still excited about it. Now, we haven't had a chance to work on this dozer for the last couple weeks on and off. We've come out here every once in a while and just tinkered with it when we had time. So we have got a couple of the issues fixed on it. Now, it was having an issue with starting. The starter would get hung up and continue to try to start the engine while the engine was already running. So I actually got a hold of an old man in town that used to work on these old dozers and used to work for an old construction company, and he had a rebuild kit on his shelf for the solenoid for this starter on this dozer. And he come out here and he got to talking about these old dozers and scrapers and everything. And you know what? This old man probably forgot more than I could ever know about this dozer. So he come out here, he had the starter working real good in the matter of about an hour, and got the solenoid rebuilt, so the starter works great now. We do have a couple other issues with it. The blade is still not working right. The handles for the, well, you know what? I'll just show you guys, but the handles for the clutches are froze together, so they're not really, it's not really turning quite right. And also, we're having issues with the winch. But that's what today's video is gonna be about. We're gonna go through all the little issues it's got, and we're gonna see what we need to get ordered to get it fixed and see if we can get parts for it and get this dozer back to work. So obviously the first issue we was having, we noticed this as soon as the dozer fired up last time, is this winch was engaged, which means it was spinning, and it was spinning under power. And that kind of explains a couple things about this winch. Now this is a Hyster D7H winch, and this thing's probably about a 65,000 pound winch. This thing is monstrous. Trust me, this is a little bit bigger than the one that's gonna be on the front of your Jeep. But these winches are really handy in the fact that if you get anything that's stuck, either you're going to get it pulled out with this winch or you're going to pull it in half. That's how this is going to work. So that kind of explains why this thing has no cable on it and why the cable's actually been torched off right here. And I'm going to assume that something happened with the controls of this winch where they could not get it disengaged, so they just cut the cable off of it, pulled the cable off, that way they didn't have to mess with it and just continued to run the dozer. Maybe they didn't need the winch, I don't know. But we are definitely going to fix that because there's a couple reasons why. First off, safety. If there was somebody standing back here while this dozer was sitting here idling and they got caught in this winch, it would literally tear somebody apart. I mean, there's not much that's going to stop that winch from turning. The other thing about it is this dozer will be so much more usable and so much more handy to have around if it's got a winch on the back, because if we get a tractor stuck or a pickup or, you know, the Fummins or anything, you know, we probably won't need the winch. We can probably just pull it out with the power of the dozer, but it's still, you know, why wouldn't you want one? Look at it, it's awesome. And I've actually got another cable to put on it, so it'll be really good. Now, this is our control box for the winch, and there's actually, I don't know if you guys can see it down here or not. Maybe you can. Right down there, there's two control cables that go into that control box, and they go up to the handles that sit there beside the seat. Well, the cables are actually broken up there on the controls, so that's why it won't kick out. Now there should be one for power, and then there should be one to reverse direction for in and out. So we need to get the new cables put on the control box. I'm gonna have to tear that apart and see how hard that's going to be. It shouldn't be that terrible, but that is one thing we need to fix, is this monster of a hydraulic winch. So the last time that we was on this dozer, and the last time you guys seen it was the last time it moved, I only moved it forwards and backwards about 10-20 feet, and the reason for that was I could not get the blade to go up. And I really didn't want to plow a big, or doze a big load of dirt right into the middle of my cousin's driveway, so we didn't push all the way. So we do have to get the blade going up. I don't know exactly what we're gonna have to do yet on that. And also, we've got our detachable exhaust. Trust me guys, new dozers just do not come with features like this. Look at this, you can take this exhaust off, you can throw it in the back into your pickup so nobody steals it.
Wait a second. That's, where do you put the exhaust fluid?
The only fluid that comes out of this exhaust is pure awesome Caterpillar power. There is no soot cooker on this machine. So now we're gonna install our exhaust. This is a lot bigger deal on a new dozer. You know, they have to take and program the def and all that good jazz. You know what we do? We take, we line it up, and we push it down. Look, installed.
Does it have Caterpillar comfort, Weston?
Well, this comfort's a little bit lacking, but it does have comfort.
You guys want to know what pure power looks like? This is the look of pure power. Nothing is going to stop you up here. Unless you run out of diesel. While I'm up here, I don't know if this is something people want to see or not, but every time I sell a machine or have ever sold a machine, I've always got to show people how to run it. So, I'm here. I might as well show you guys how to run a D7F Bulldozer. Look at it. It's beautiful. We've got our key down here. Obviously, I don't have a key. This is just, you crank it over to start it. You crank it back to preheat it. This is our fuel pump, on and off. I don't know what that does. It don't work. Probably for lights. This here is our blade control. If the blade worked, you pull it back to go up. Push it forward to go down, left to tilt the blade to the left, right to tilt the blade to the right. That's pretty self-explanatory. This is where it gets interesting. A bulldozer does not have a steering wheel. We've got handles, and that just means that you can handle this dozer easier. What these are is these are your clutches for each individual side. So they're kind of stuck together, but anyway. So you say you want to turn the dozer to the right, you pull back on the right clutch and you push down on the right brake. And what that does is that stops the right track. And then the left track will keep going. So the dozer will start to pivot just like a big old zero-turn lawnmower or like a skid loader or whatever, however you want to equate it to. Now this here is your transmission control. This is your safety interlock to keep it from falling into gear and running somebody over while it's running. You kick that down, you pull it over to where it says forward, and you got 1, 2, 3, and neutral. See, it's still in neutral there. And then they're a little rusted. And then you got reverse on this side, 1, 2, 3. Now this is a power shift. What that means is you don't have to pick the gear before you get started off. Like you can just pull it back into first gear, second gear, third gear, and so on and so forth. And then you can go on and shift on the fly. Now on an older dozer, you just have to pick the gear that you want to start off in and just go. And then whenever you want to pick a different gear, you'd have to stop completely and then disengage it and engage another gear and go on. But this one here has got the power shift option, which is really nice for a dozer of this age. And we've got the safety interlock to keep us from running anybody over. So I guess I've kind of went through that. Now we got our gauges down here. Now what is that? That's gearbox temperature or hydraulic temperature. We've got an amp gauge to see if we're charging. I don't know if the alternator works, but we'll find that out here in a little bit. Engine oil pressure. It holds great oil pressure. We don't got to worry about that. We got a temperature gauge. That does work. We did have an idle in a little bit there. Got a fuel pressure gauge. That one works as well. And water pressure, which I've never actually seen a water pressure gauge, but I guess it's there for a reason. Obviously, we also got the deaccelerator. So this is our throttle here. That's all the way, that's full throttle. That's idle. And then you push it all the way forward to kill it. So when it's sitting there at idle, dozers are meant to be run at full throttle all day long, never idling down. Like they're meant to just run at full throttle all the time. So you have this little foot pedal down here, and it's a lot like a pedal in a car, except for it works in reverse. Right now it's a full throttle, right? You push down this pedal and you gotta pull it to, you push down this pedal and it returns it back to idle. So if you want to idle the engine down, you push down on the pedal. It's called a deaccelerator pedal, which them are kind of neat. You don't really see them on anything besides dozers, and some of the new Caterpillar skid loaders have them now, but they're all electronic, but that's kind of weird. Yeah, so I think that's how to run this thing. The other thing we better touch on is these are the controls for the winch, and obviously we don't have no control over these. And if you can look down in there, I don't know if you can or not. I'll have to tear this apart and see why that winch won't disengage, but let's at least try to get it started up and see if it still starts after sitting here for about 2 weeks. All right. So, let's see if this thing will still start up after been sitting here for a little bit. Should. Don't worry about that. That's just a little bit of Westernizing to get this thing started. That's just to run our little fuel pump. There we go. Had to turn the battery kill switch on. All right. We're in neutral. Safety interlock's on. Come on, baby.
Weston with a bulldozer. I can't think of anything more scary.
Tripod.
Huh?
I ran over my tripod.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a good deal. Oh my God, listen to her. She sounds like a beast. Listen to her purr. Come on. Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Is the wind still spinning?
It's still spinning pretty good, yeah.
All right, guys, so while we're up here, I don't know if you can hear a damn thing I'm saying with all that Caterpillar power running. Basically, it's pretty easy. This is your throttle. I push down on that, it revs it back down to an idle, it goes back up, push back down, it goes back down to idle again. So we got the old dozer started up. Oh my God, we got something here on the lens. Hold on a second. Ain't she a beast, guys? Oh my God. There is nothing like running one of these old dozers. Like the new ones are so plush and comfortable with an enclosed cab, you know, it's just not really, it's not really that much of an experience. But then you get on one of these old behemoths, it seems like you're getting ready to move the world. And it felt like it too. I run over a rock over there and it just shattered the rock completely. But there was a couple things we did off camera, like we fixed the starter and that got fixed off camera. And I don't know what the deal is with the blades. Maybe we got to change the hydraulic filters or something on it. I know there was a bunch of people in the last video like, oh my God, you dumbass, you didn't check the hydraulic oil. Well, you know, guys, I do check the hydraulic oil, I check the oil, and I check the antifreeze and fuel on everything that we start or everything we do. And most of the time, I just do that off camera. So in the future, if you guys are wondering if I check the fluid, most likely, I would say about 99% of the time, I always check all that stuff. It was full of hydraulic oil, so I don't know what the deal is there. I do know we have a little bit of a hydraulic oil leak down here on this tilt cylinder, but I'm going to say it's not leaking. That is just marking its territory, and eventually we'll get around to fixing that too. So we got a seal there we got to replace. We've got to fix that winch. I mean, that winch has got to work. The deal with our blade on the front of this dozer and why it's having issues going up and down. When it did go up, I did hear the pump whining, so maybe it could be maybe something got inside that hydraulic tank and is blocking the inlet for the pump. That could be another thing too, especially with these old dozers that set for a long time. Leaves or something got in the hydraulic system. I've seen that. So we do have a couple issues to fix, but overall, I'm really happy with this dozer. Realistically, a guy won't know all of its extended issues until you get it out and you get it working, you get it pushing. I mean, all we can really do around here is just kind of run it around and see how it idles around. We can't really put a good load on it and put a good work on it. But we did run it around here, let it idle for about 20-30 minutes. It didn't overheat or nothing. It's not losing any coolant. It's still full of water and everything. So I'm going to call that a win. We know what we need to get ordered. I need to tear apart that winch on the back of this dozer. We're going to do that eventually too. So we're going to get the winch tore apart. We're going to figure out what the deal is with that blade. And I think I'm going to try to repaint it. I don't know if I'm going to get around to that much, but I think it would look good, brand new, bright yellow, don't you? If you watched this far, I thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like button if you like the old dozer videos. And always, if you're new here, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.